Under normal operations, your firewall works effectively with predefined rules, inspection policies, and advanced features like IPS, malware detection, and NGFW capabilities. They can block malicious traffic that's coming from the internet. But there is more. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a hidden gem within your current firewall. A powerful capability that's already there but rarely utilized. The idea is to leverage the correlation policy to write custom remediations. This allows fully customizable reaction by your secure firewall, whether it's forensic analysis or stopping threat that the firewall alone can't identify. Now, your firewall is expanding well beyond its original capabilities. After installing our custom app, the firewall monitors traffic for specific conditions. When it finds a match, it calls out our application via API. Our app then triggers action or consult external system for forensics and analysis. Based on this result, we provide actionable updates which are pushed back to the firewall and enabling the firewall to block previously undetectable threats or suspicious activities. This makes your firewall smarter and more adaptive. This approach is incredibly powerful. It allows you to block previously unknown threats, customize remediation for specific needs, and scale with multiple mini applications tailored to your environment. Let's start by understanding what a correlation policy is. At its core, a correlation policy defines how security events are analyzed and responded to. By combining rules, allow lists, traffic profiles, and remediation responses, it enables a comprehensive and adaptive approach to protecting your network. This module is designed to respond in real time, triggering actions based on specific conditions like traffic anomalies, connection events, intrusion, or malware detections. Our responses are not just predefined, they can be fully customized by installing your own remediation module to react to behaviors of a specific action in your network. This structured approach ensures a proactive and automated response to security incidents. Let's talk about correlation rules. In this section, FMC enables administrators to create highly specific correlation rules. For example, you can define triggers based on VPN troubleshooting events, connection anomalies, or even malware detection. This level of granularity ensures that the right action is taken at the right time. The compliance allow list feature ensures that only authorized operating systems, applications, and protocols are permitted within the network. With this module, you can define detailed allow lists to restrict unauthorized access and maintain a secure operating environment. And now, traffic profiles. Traffic profiling is a powerful feature that learns the normal behavior of your network over a specific time window. Once the learning period ends, any deviation is flagged as an anomaly. These anomalies are then evaluated against the correlation rules, taking quick and proper action to address threat. At the core of the system, there is a powerful if-then logic. Multiple conditions can be grouped together as if statements, allowing you to define complex scenarios for detection. Once these conditions are met, the corresponding then actions are triggered. This design provides flexibility in addressing diverse security needs. The remediation options begin with a simple alerting, such as sending SNMP traps or emails to notify administrators in real time. Next, it includes predefined actions, such as sending null-zero route or pigs grid, which are less commonly used. But the real game changer is the hidden feature, custom API remediation. This overlooked feature allows you to develop and install your own remediation modules directly into FMC. When a specified condition is matched, FMC calls out your custom module to perform the desired action, enabling highly tailored and dynamic responses for your environment. Now let's talk about case studies. Case study number 1. In this scenario, we aim to implement a customized rule to add an extra layer of protection. Imagine a situation where someone attempts to visit a URL, but Cisco Talos is unable to categorize it or provide a reputation score. Such unknown URLs pose a potential risk, and there is where our customized remediation module comes into play. While there are other integrations such as Threat Intelligence Director, this example is designed purely to demonstrate how the customized remediation module works for better understanding. When the conditions in the correlation policy are met, in this case a URL with an unknown reputation score, FMC will talk to our customized app. My application connects to VirusTotal via API to analyze the URL. I've included some bonus feature in the app, such as ability to select which cloud provider or providers assess your IP. Based on the investigation results, the app communicates back with FMC through API, automatically blacklisting any malicious IP. To simplify, I use dynamic object or CStack to avoid configuration delays. These objects are seamlessly integrated into ACP for real-time blocking without need of policy deployment. For our lab, first we need to go to policies and correlation, and then we have to choose rule management. So first step is to assign a name to our rule. So here my name is check unknown URLs, and as we talked before, the logic behind correlation rule is if then. So here we're gonna define the if condition. So if a connection event occurs, so we need to wait for a couple of seconds. Options will appear soon. Okay, now the default is at any point of the connection, but we need to change that into at the beginning of the connection. Now we're gonna meet the following conditions. So you can have a simple condition or you can have a complex condition here. So my first condition is I'm gonna choose URL. So let's choose URL here and the category of the URL. Wait for options. Is uncategorized. So I need to choose uncategorized. So basically, what does it mean? It means that the website that we want to touch is uncategorized from Talos point of view. Now we need to add another condition. And of course, we need to make sure that is this and or is this or. So here we choose and. So URL category is uncategorized, and I want to make sure this is an outbound connection. So I'm going to choose egress security zone or egress interface, doesn't matter. So here I choose egress security zone equals to outside. So technically it means that the outbound traffic toward internet. So I'm gonna choose outside from here. And now we're going to add another condition. And in this condition, I'm choosing my FTD device because this is FMC obviously, and you have different FTDs, different sensors. So you want to choose your sensor. So I choose here, my device is FTD1. So this correlation rule is going to apply to that device. Also, I want to make an exception for FMC. So I mean that if the initiator traffic is FMC, don't put it in this rule. So initiator IP is not, and then IP address of the FMC, which in my case is 172.16.74.74. So not applied to FMC. Now, this is a very interesting part. So you can add complex condition. So I'm gonna add a complex condition here. And I want to narrow down my if condition. So I'm gonna choose responder port. So let me choose responder port and wait for options. Is 80 for HTTP traffic, And again, responder port. Responder port is 443. Okay, so our complex condition is ready, and I'm gonna save it. Okay, now rules is successfully saved, and we go for the next step, which is installing our modules. So go to the action part and select modules. Now we are in installed remediation modules. These are predefined modules that's already in the system, but we will select our own customized module. Choose file and select the module. I will put the module in my website so you can go and download from there. So then install. Now the new module, the customized module, is installed in FMC. So let's go there. Click on this icon, and we have to add a new instance here. Click add instance. Here you can put any name, but the IP is your server IP address. Check unknown URL. Unknown URL. You can put any description, and this is my server IP address. Technically call out this IP address as if that condition met. So just name it Ubuntu. It can be anything. So let's create the instance. So instance is now created. And next step is configure remediations. We add block unknown Talos. Just choose a name for our remediation name, and then we create, save, and done. As you can see, our remediation is already configured, and we are ready to go for the next step. Choose policies and correlation. How we landed in policy management page. We create a policy, name a policy, and add rules. This is the rule that we already defined in rule management section. So we add it here. The next step is assign a response. So this is our module. We assign the module and update. Save. Next step is to activate the rule. Now the rule is active, and the good news is we don't need any deployment. After creating the correlation rule, we need to go to object for the stack configuration. We go to object management. From the left side, external attributes, dynamic object, and here put a name, virus check detection, and type is IP. Okay, now we add. Let's go to ACP, policy access control, and add a rule here. The name block VirusTotal, type block. The traffic source zone is inside, destination zone is outside. And we select dynamic attribute. We select our dynamic object, which is virus check detection, and we add it as destination. Now let's go to insert and make sure that this rule is rule number 1. So above rule 1, and now to logging, and enable log at the beginning of connection. Add. Before we're going to save the config and deploy, let me explain one more time why we need this rule here. The reason we use this ACP is to handle scenarios where Talos categorizes a URL as uncategorized. According to the correlation rules, our custom module is triggered and send the IP address associated with that URL to our application. Next, our application communicates with VirusTotal using an API to check the status of the URL IP address. It's important to note that FMC only provides the source or destination IP of the traffic. In this case, we use the destination IP linked to that URL. If VirusTotal identifies the IP as malicious, our application sends an information back to FMC and adds the URL IP address to CSTAC dynamic object. Since our ACP rule is configured to block all traffic destined for the CSTAC list, any such malicious traffic is automatically blocked. In addition, because we use dynamic objects, there is no need for policy deployment every time an IP address is added or removed. Okay, now we know why we need this rule. Let's go to save the rule and deploy, because this is our first time. I'm gonna deploy the rule. As I mentioned, there is no need for policy deployment every time an IP address is added or removed. Now the fun part begins. Let's go to the application. This is the application that we prepared. To start, you just need to log in with your credentials. Then you just type server config. This is very similar to SNA, right? You provide your IP address, your gateway, and your DNS. This part is your network configuration. Okay. Server config one more time. You go to firepower configuration. It's very cool. You provide your FMC IP address, your FMC username, your FMC password, and the dynamic object name, the one that we need to update IP address. In this menu, you can see the list of malicious IP address that have been updated from VirusTotal. Shortly, I will show you the options for removing this IP address from FMC. Right now, as you can see, it's empty. In the setting, I have provided an adjustable weekly check feature. Here is how it works. When our application identifies a malicious IP from VirusTotal, we store it in a database and add it to the dynamic object. Every week, of course, is adjustable, the application will check the status of these IP. If an IP's status changes from malicious to normal, the app automatically removes it from the database and dynamic object, ensures that only active threats are blocked. Another key feature is the ability to select specific cloud providers. As you know, VirusTotal queries multiple cloud providers to determine the status of an IP. With this feature, you can choose the cloud providers that your organization trusts more. The app will then query VirusTotal using only the providers you have selected. This approach enhances reliability and significantly reduces false positives, ensuring the system aligns with your organization's trust framework. Now let's begin with the practical example. As you can see, from Talos' point of view, we have unknown web reputation score for this website. And now we can go and check the website from VirusTotal point of view. But here from Fortinet or Sophos, the website contains malware. Okay, now let's go back to our correlation rule and double check everything one more time. So here I'm going to rule management. Let me edit the rule. Okay. This is exactly our condition for this test. Our URL category is uncategorized, and our egress security zone is outside, and the initiator IP is not FMC, and the destination port is 443 or 80. And now I'm going to open the website. Okay. As soon as I click, the website is not gonna open. Let me investigate why. I'm going to analysis page, and this is a live log. And as we expect, our access policy rule is blocking the connection. So you can see the access rule name block VirusTotal. Now let me go to object and open the dynamic object, and you see here 2 new IPs are added to this object, and that's the reason the connection was blocked. To verify in more detail, you can go to analysis correlation status and correlation events. I'm trying to open them in a new tab. This is remediation status, and this is our correlation events. You can see 2 events here: our destination IP address, the port, and this is our interface. You can check the IP address, the blocked date, and the final trick is we can remove the IP address from FMC. I'm gonna remove it, refresh the page, going to external attributes, dynamic object, number of mapped IP address 0. And I remove the IP address from sort of blacklist ACP. To wrap up, this demo shows how a customized remediation module and one simple application with an easy to use user interface can help solve complex security problems. It allows you to go beyond your firewall. You can download the remediation module and this application in 2 separate files from my website, networkingwithehsan.com. Stay tuned for more case studies and examples to explore the full potential of these solutions. See you in the next video.